Thank you for still being there with us. Joining us now to look at the security situation in the country is Jonathan Asake, President of Southern Kaduna People's Union. He's in the studio live with us. Jonathan, welcome.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you.
We also have joining us on Zoom the Public Relations Officer of the Middlebelt Forum, Isuwa, Dogo. Isuwa, if you are there, welcome. Yes, we can see you. Good morning. Good to have you on Kakaki this morning.
Over here.
Yeah, we'll get to him later. So we'll start with you, Jonathan.
All right, Jonathan, I know that you have seen the conversation across every newspaper headline this morning. It's about the breaking into the NDA. And it's raised quite a lot of tensions amongst Nigerians and also worry for those who are security experts. But more worrying is the fact that even at the heat of this conversation, the presidency has not come out to make any statement or even reassure Nigerians of the situation at hand. How worrisome is this for you?
Thank you very much. It's a continuation of the same story. What Nigerians have been witnessing. It's quite unfortunate. I want to start by expressing my heart feelings with the relations of these people that were kidnapped and killed in the most barbaric manner, and all such other attacks that have been taking place recently where people are being killed recklessly in this nation. But to me, it's not surprising that we're witnessing an attack on a military facility like it happened yesterday. You may recall, on the 24th of June this year, there was a security breach in the Command and Staff College, Jaji. It was not widely reported, but it happened where the same bandits went into that military facility and even rustled about 200 cows belonging to personnel around there. And so it's not the first time. So when we have a situation where it is being debated whether amnesty should be granted to terrorists or not, whether these people that have killed, they have maimed, they have taken innocent children, female children, particularly the Chibok girl case is still fresh, in their hundreds, into the forest, terminated their future, took them and turned them into sex slaves, committed all sorts of crimes against humanity, forced them to convert, forced them to marry, forced them to have children prematurely, and some of them are coming that they have repented with those same girls. That is the greatest crime that can be committed against humanity. And all that we're hearing is, oh, there has been a secret arrangement where these same terrorists have been housed properly. They have been given some allowances to live well, while the victims of these crimes are still there. Their relations are still there. What a very sorry situation for our nation.
Jonathan, interesting perspective you put to this matter, but two things. The situation that happened at the NDA, that's your place more or less,
yeah.
in Kaduna. The authorities have said that the security architecture was compromised. I'm sure you drive through the NDA several times. Yeah. You've driven through that. Can you give us a perspective of the security situation around that place and just how possible it could be compromised in such a manner as it was yesterday? Just
like any other military institution, if you go to that particular environment in Africa, Mando, Kaduna State, every point there is a checkpoint of the military where there is surveillance, where there are men on the ground to search, to know where you are going. So it beats my imagination how those kidnappers went in. But what I said earlier is that they could only have gone in because the security architecture has been compromised. I am very convinced with all that has been going on that the military, not only the military, our intelligence agencies, the police and other security agencies have been compromised. They have been infiltrated by the same terrorists we're talking about. And that is the only way they could have paved the way for those people to get in there and kidnap officers and
kill two. Kidnap.
In fact, I saw the reports going around, making the rounds, that the one that was kidnapped
has been killed as well.
That one has been killed. And what an unfortunate situation. So
what you're saying is essentially it's not that it's improbable. Not that it's not it's impossible. It's improbable to breach the security of the NDA.
Yes, it's improbable. It's as difficult as a camel passing through the eye of the needle without any internal arrangement. And the internal arrangement can only be that institution has been so infiltrated.
All right, let's go to Isuwa. Isuwa, good morning. Are you there with us? Isuwa.
Isuwa Dogo is the PRO of the Middlebelt Forum. Isuwa Dogo, if you can hear us, can we just see you? Well, appears we have lost him. Jonathan, there's been a lot of security situations in Kaduna State. Your area in southern Kaduna has been attacked repeatedly. We talked about Asake. Asake was in the news when the students of the College of Forestry and Mechanization were abducted some months ago. And questions were asked at that time. Just how could this be possible? I mean, with the number of security formations in Kaduna State alone, how possible is it that all this number of abductions can take place?
Absolutely.
The Bethel Secondary School students and the rest of them that have been happening. And the authorities, the soldiers, the military formations and the security presence in that place could not intercept this thing when it happened, or perhaps even get intelligence. Even if it happened, the number of students that is moved at a particular time, they can locate them and get them back. You have consistently said that there's a lack of political will to follow up and crack down on the insecurity in that particular area. And particularly also, you've also said, it's perhaps your people are targeted. Now that the security formation itself is targeted, does it seem that it's much more of a broader national security concern than you earlier thought it was?
Yes, it is of a broader national security concern, but I still maintain my position that it is working within the framework of an agenda set before the Nigerian people by a few that came with this very evil agenda of supplanting everybody, of enslaving everyone in this country. And like I keep saying, the Afghanistan situation is staring the rest of us in the face right now. If you remember the Afghanistan situation, when the Americans, removed the Taliban government, and most of them, defected into the national military and national security organizations, and behaving as if they have repented until the D-Day came, when they just submitted the entire government to the Taliban. And we are having exactly that situation. That's why I say it is staring us in the face right now. Talking about the will of the government, yes, there is not only a will, it's actually within. I keep insisting that it is within an agenda set against the rest of us.
All right, let's get to Isuwa right now, and I'm sure he's listening to us. So are you there? Because we need to really get a reaction on this invasion, especially the one that's happened at the NDA. and understanding what the implication of that is, not just for the security architecture of Nigeria, but for Nigerian citizens and their psychology as well, in terms of defeating the insecurity. Jonathan, let me come back to you while we try to get Isuwa back on track. Okay, he's here with us.
Isuwa, can you hear us?
I'm here.
Great. So let's get your reaction to what has happened so far.
Absolutely.
The Middlebelt generally, and now...
I think I want to start by expressing my sincere sympathy to the Nigerian Army or Nigerian Armed Forces. For the past, since last night, I have not slept. I've felt distrust in one form or the other, that I just felt as if the nation has collapsed completely. There is no manner, no way outside bandits, and we are calling them bandits loosely, will get into NDA. Those who killed the soldiers are within the NDA. Those who killed the soldiers are not from outside. They are not bandits, in my view. I'll be surprised that if bandits can enter NDA, those who have gone round the whole fence of NDA, the gates and other things to see how NDA is, it will appear unbelievable that bandits can go inside NDA and kill officers and get out comfortably, that they will be able to kidnap an officer and will get out of the gates of NDA to any part of Kaduna. It is so sad. In June, as my brother has said, when those incidents happened, in Jaji or where it was, I was surprised, and probably they didn't take it seriously. So let us come back to the actual issues. One, we have been hearing that bandits or Boko Haram were being tried in secret. Under what conditions do you try people in secret? Have you heard of convictions that these people being tried in secrets have been convicted? Have you heard anything about them? What was the outcome of the condition of the trials? To the best of my knowledge, a person is tried in secret when he's a top government official and has a lot of government secrets, and they don't want such secrets to be exposed to the public. What are the government secrets that bandits or Boko Haram or any criminal has about government that they will try them in secrets? We do not know where they are tried. No report about the trial, nothing about the after trial, no convictions about the trials, nothing. Oh no, it is very, very sad.
All right.
Absolutely sad. So you can see, when it is alleged that, look, bandits are taken and within 2 weeks they have been trained, they have repented, they have become normal, they are absorbed into society. I heard yesterday when the governor of Borno was talking, and I appreciated the pains he goes through. And truly speaking, he's a hard-working and I think an honest man. And he was talking that a good number of the people that were taken into Boko Haram captivity were innocent children. They have stayed there for years. They have now become matured people. They have been brainwashed. They have been changed to believe and to act the way Boko Haram wants. And therefore, it is a mistake in my mind to think that you can just take them, integrate them into the society and expect them to walk exactly the same way like normal people. Nobody is saying that, to the best of my knowledge, nobody is saying that, look, when those people are taken, they should be killed. No, I don't think so. I think it is wrong to do that. But I think the normal course of what should be done to be absolutely certain should be done according to the law. But I have my reservations. Absorbing any of them into the armed forces or security agencies of Nigeria as it is alleged. I have my reservations. Why are we sure that some of them are not pretending to repent so that they will have access to government? They will have access to resources. They'll have access to the armed forces. They'll have access to anything. How are we sure that some of them do not go and join the army in Depot Zaria and pretend to be military people? What kind of security checks do they take? Do they check on those who are joining the army at any level at present? We only know that the army, the government tries as much as possible to take as many people so that they'll go and fight insecurity. But what kind of security check do they put on these people they are?
All right,
taken into the armed forces?
Isuwa, still staying with you. Let me come in here briefly while we still have you here. You have said quite some, you've echoed the thoughts of millions of Nigerians. However, let's look at the fact that the governor is very swift to discuss reintegration of the Boko Haram repentance and also to look at their rehabilitation. However, a lot of people are asking, one, will this not embolden bandits and other Boko Haram members to think that they can just pick up arms, tomorrow repent, and then be accepted back into normalcy?
Nobody is saved. It is not practically possible for a hardline criminal to say he has repented within 2 weeks and is taken back into a normal life. It is almost impossible to do that.
All right. What are the prospects for peace in the region now, looking at what has happened so far?
And so it's a terrible mistake. In my view.
If you can hear me, Mr. Dogo, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I think you can.
All right. Maybe we'll just take a pause.
Please, can you repeat yourself?
Yes. I'm asking the prospects.
What did you say?
What do you think are the prospects, if any?
Please, come again.
For security in the region. Do you think there are any prospects for security in the region? With what has happened recently, is there any possibility that there will be some level of relative stability in the northern part of the country, looking at the steps taken so far by the government? Well, it appears he's not hearing me, so maybe we'll try.
I believe it's possible.
Okay, yes, go ahead, please.
But that possibility will come first and foremost on the sincerity of government to make it possible. Somebody this morning was talking and mentioned the issue of OBJ when he was president and what the Odoa people did and his reaction. That is exactly what is required. If the presidency is going to be sincere with itself, if those who have become religious bigots are going to be sincere and first of all repent, and not to start thinking about religion. In the first place, who is saved? Whether you are a Christian or a Muslim, you are not saved. And if we look at things very critically and honestly, and we count, and we are just talking about religion, certainly you wouldn't compare the number of Muslims that have been killed to those of the Christians in this country. And so the issue of religion and those who are using religious bigotry to play their cards and to destroy Nigeria, they must stop doing so.
All right, thank you. Isuwa, Jonathan, let me come back to you. There have been a lot of conversation on this back and forth. Do you not think that there is need for cautious optimism? Reason for this is that a lot of people still worry that, one, if we begin to even think amnesty for terrorists, as they are called in other countries and even within Nigeria, that they could be inching closer to becoming mercenaries or fishing for intelligence. And then number two, wouldn't it also mean that the country has failed in itself if Governor Zulum can say that if we do not give amnesty to this Boko Haram repentance, that we will not end the 12-year insurgency? Do you not think that in saying that the country in itself has failed in protecting the lives of Nigerians?
That's what I've been saying all this while. You see, what baffles me, I'm sorry to say, I'm from the north, and our northern leaders will need to stand up. Today you hear them sing one song. Tomorrow you hear them sing a different song. I can give examples with most of our leaders. For instance, the governor of Kaduna State, at one time he believed that, look, what can only be done is to dialogue, negotiate with these bandits that are killing. But somehow along the line, he got in touch with reality, and he took a very sharp position against that. And he is advocating for people to defend themselves, the citizens of that state to rise up, pick up arms and defend themselves. Well, he got wide condemnation. The same thing with Professor Zulum. He's been going about doing a lot of things, and he's been getting all the applause. But there are certain instances that you also check his actions and you don't understand, because if at this point he is saying that these terrorists should be, the ones that have repented should be forgiven and rehabilitated, and they are not talking about the victims, like I said, then something is essentially wrong. Even the Northeast Development Commission that was established, I don't know how far it has been funded to really take care of the plight of the victims. Years after it was formed, you still see people in IDP camps languishing in poverty, in dehumanizing conditions with all the funds. So something is wrong. And therefore, if somebody is advocating that these terrorists should be rehabilitated or should be forgiven because they are repented, then every other prisoner, all the armed robbers in our prisons, they have no business being there, because these people have committed the greatest crimes against humanity. So the only way is to try them. Those that are innocent will be set free. Those that didn't have a hand, the commanders, those that have reason to be commanders of these terrorist groups, should be brought to book, should be tried. If you remember, after the Second World War in 1945, there is this, what was called the Nuremberg trials, where all these war criminals, people that participated, war against peace, crimes against peace, crimes against humanity, and all the people that participated and committed those classified crimes against peace, even when you disturb the peace of the society.
They were all profiled.
They were all profiled.
Not just in Nuremberg, the Nuremberg trials, even Rwanda as well.
Exactly.
They were all profiled. Even when there was a reconciliation.
Exactly.
They were profiled and they went through trials.
Exactly.
Some, not even in Rwanda, some in France. They went through the trial.
Exactly.
But point made. Thank you so much for being here. We're out of time. Jonathan Asake is the president of the Southern Kaduna People's Union. Always a pleasure having you. Thank you so much. And also to Isuwa Dogo, who's the PRO of the Middlebelt Forum. We want to say thank you so much
for
your time with us and your perspective.